What's up everyone, this is Tranquil Toys back with another review, and today I'm taking a look at the newly released Patriot Studios Resident Evil 4 Leon. Leon being one of my favorite fictional characters, I had to pick this figure up, go along with my other Leons from the other Resident Evil games. And this is from Patriot Studios, which is a pretty good third-party figure company. I did buy the Joaquin Phoenix Joker from them. I did have some issues with the body. The arm broke on that figure, so I had to buy a replacement body. It was a much cheaper body, so I'm interested to see how good the clothes are in this figure, how good the body is, if it's durable, if it's going to hold up, or if it's going to fall apart like that Joker body. The first thing I want to do is quickly go over the box and some of the accessories that are included inside. I also have the pre-order bonus. Take a look at that in a second. First, we'll take a look at the main box that the figure and all the accessories come in. So just a regular shoebox style. It's got the name of the company. You got pictures of the figure and the accessories, and then what comes in the pre-order bonus. So these pieces outlined in red is the pre-order bonus, and everything else comes with the regular figure. Then, like most of these figures, it does come in trays, and there's two trays. There's one with the figure, the hands, and then a few of the accessories, or two of the accessories, and the second tray has the rest of the accessories, which are still inside right here. We'll take a look at that closer. So the pre-order bonus comes in a separate white box. There's a few more accessories. Again, we'll take a look at that in a second. The first thing I want to do is take a look at the figure itself and the clothes. I haven't really handled this figure for that long, so this is going to be like my first impressions on the figure. Right away, the figure feels good. I like the way the material looks. Right away, the figure feels good in hand, and it looks really good. One thing I did notice is that this is sort of a thin material. It's one ply, or it's one layer of the jacket, and it's like that pleather material. The fur here is pretty good. I haven't noticed any flaking or anything like that, any shedding. You got the line work, which is good. That's not peeling off or anything, at least not yet. You do have fake pockets in the front. I wish they would have been real, but they're sewn shut. You got some of the belts and the buckles on the jacket. Front of the shirt, it's also on the back of the shirt. Then the belt is sort of a thin material. Then you have the straps, different material. You can't really adjust the straps though. I haven't really looked too closely at it, but I don't think you can. But you can undo the buckles there. Then a holster, which is pretty good. I like how that turned out. And you got the paint wash on it. And on this over here, the hands turned out pretty good as well. They're nice and soft. Sort of reminds me of the Lim Toys Leon. And the pants are pretty good. I think these pockets are also sewn shut. And then the shoes turn out pretty good. Nice dry brushing. And the bottom of the shoes do have treads on them. So this is modeled after the remake, the Resident Evil 4 remake. So I guess it's pretty good to the Resident Evil 4 remake. I prefer the original. So I think I'm looking forward to the NW Toys figure for this Resident Evil 4 Leon. But I decided to get this one just to see how good it is, and as a placeholder until I get the other one, and also to get some views, and then to do a comparison once I get the other one. And yeah, I really like how this figure turned out. The paint on the face is pretty good. Doesn't really look like Leon though. I think the hair is a little bit has so much volume on this part right here from the side as well. I think it just sticks out too much. Maybe if they would have toned that down a little bit. Again, I haven't really looked at the remake Leon too closely, so that might be accurate. Also looks like there's an imperfection on the jacket up here, right there. I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up. Hopefully you guys can see that. It's a white mark. I'm not sure what that is. I hope it's not the jacket flaking. I think it might be though. So that's kind of unfortunate. If that's really what it is, that's unfortunate. We'll take a look at the accessories now. He does come with quite a bit. 2 pouches. I don't like how these pouches attach. I believe they attach to his belt, and you have to undo the belt to slide them on there. So that's kind of unfortunate. It's sort of a finicky way to put the pouches on. I wish it was a different way. Getting to the hands, he does have right trigger hand, left holding hand. One thing about this hand over here, I think this peg has a imperfection on it, or if it's broken, I think it might be broken or something, but it's not shaped the same way that this peg is. So you can see how that's rounded off at the end, and this one has sort of like a broken piece at the end of it. Maybe an extra bit of plastic, maybe cutting that out would make the hand fit better. right trigger hand, left relaxed hand, right relaxed hand, right grip hand, right fist, and the same goes for the left hand, left grip hand, left trigger finger hand, left fist. Getting into the rest of the accessories that were included in the second tray, we do get a shotgun. Does have a working part down here, but on mine it is kind of broken. It comes apart. It's not really broken, but it does come apart. So when you're trying to slide this forward, the whole mechanism comes out. So you have to hold the barrel in place while you're moving the slide back and forth. That's kind of unfortunate that it does that. Again, if that happens to you guys, you let me know. But it is a nice looking shotgun. We also get this harness that goes around him, and you can fit one of his pistols in there and the combat knife in that holster as well. He has a watch which has some nice detail on it. You can see the face of the watch and the display, flashlight. There's no actual lens in front of the light, it's just hollow. He has a fish which is kind of goldish and a silverish color on the bottom. So they turned out pretty cool and pretty versatile accessory in my opinion. You can use this for a lot of different things, so that's awesome. Flash grenade, just a piece of plastic with some paper glued around it, which is sort of cheap looking. It's not very, it doesn't look very realistic. It just looks like paper. And you can also see where the paper is glued on the back. So I wish they could have done that a little bit better. Then a regular grenade, fragmentation grenade. Looks, pretty much standard as you would expect. Then the combat knife, it's not too bad. Again, pretty standard look and design. And he does come with two pistols. One of them is in the holster already, and they both come with removable magazines. The magazine is removable. They got the bullet painted on top of it, so that's cool. The slide doesn't move, so there's no moving mechanisms on this pistol. You can't even look inside the barrel of the gun. It's just covered in plastic. So we also have another pistol. Yeah, just a few minor differences. Between them. But the second one does come with another magazine. It sticks out at the bottom because it's an extended magazine. I believe this is a barrel. I really hope I don't drop this, but I think this is a barrel extender or barrel extension. But I'm not sure how it goes on because there's no holes in the gun. So I'm not really sure what that part is for. It's not really fitting into any of the guns. Last thing we get is another pouch, which you have to put through the belt. And again, I don't like the way that you attach the pouches to the belt. They could have come up with a better way to do that. So that's it for the regular accessories. And we get the pre-order bonus accessories, 3 extra accessories. Lever action shotgun. The lever doesn't actually move. Also a bigger fish, similar to the smaller one. Same color scheme, same look. Might be the same model, just upscaled. And then we get a rocket launcher with the rocket removable. Some glue residue on there, so that's interesting. It does have an actual working sight, but it doesn't really stay in place. It's very loose in there. And then you see the scope. It's also pretty nicely detailed. So now we'll check out the articulation on the figure, starting with the head. The neck and the head are one piece. You can look down that far, which is pretty good. It's not going to look up too much, pretty much not anything. Kind of unfortunate, but that's usually how it is with these kinds of figures, or with those kinds of neck setups. He does lean side to side a little bit, which is nice. Shoulders, now this is the problem that I had with the previous Patriot Studios figure, was with the shoulders. It was kind of tight and ended up breaking on me, so hopefully don't have that problem with this one. Doesn't feel as tight as the other figure. And then swiveling, you're not gonna be able to swivel it because the jacket's gonna hinder that movement. Bicep swivel, feels like it works okay. It's a little bit tight, double jointed elbows. It's also gonna create a lot of wrinkles on the jacket. Over time, those wrinkles will wear into the material, so you gotta be careful about how you pose them and the kind of poses you leave the figure in. And the wrists, swivel and hinge. And you can swivel it, hinge it inward and outward, swivel the joint and then hinge it up and down. Chest feels like a rubber piece. Also, slight butterfly joints. I think it's mainly because it's a ball joint going from the shoulder into the body, so it's not really a butterfly joint, but it is kind of gets you the similar motion to that. So the chest feels like a rubbery piece, so he can bend down pretty far, pretty good amount. Then he can bend back that far, which is also a good amount. Okay, it looks like it came apart. Hopefully I can put that back. Yeah, okay, so that falls apart. Not too bad. It seems pretty easy to put back in. It is kind of annoying though. Didn't have that problem with any of the other Leons that I have. I guess it might just be a Patriot Studios thing. And then going side to side is also very good. Now the hips, see if the pants hinders them, and it looks like the pants is going to hinder the leg movement a little bit. Not really doing the splits that far. You can move the leg back a little bit, forward that much. Not really a thigh swivel though. You're getting that swivel from where the thigh connects to the assembly there. Double joint knee works very good. Same as the wrist joint. I think it's just like a straight up ball with a peg going down. So that's kind of weird. It looks like it's like a ball joint, but it doesn't move. There's no hinge movement on that. It's a really small ball joint going into the foot there. I feel like the jacket is still a little too big. When I saw the pictures of the figure, that's what I thought when I first saw it. I thought that the jacket was too big. In hand, it's a little better, but I still think it's a little bit too oversized. I think the NW Toys figure had it better. The proportions were better. You guys let me know what you think about that in the comments. So here's what the figure looks like without the jacket. So still a pretty cool look. And you can even see that the body underneath is painted flesh tone. And there's some veins. Got him in a cool pose right here. So that's pretty much it for the figure. I guess we'll do some comparisons now. So here's the Masterverse Vicron next to the Leon. Of course, this is a 7-inch figure, so he's going to tower over this figure over here. But just to give you an idea of what that looks like. SH Fig Arts Sagiri from Hell's Paradise. So again, and here's the Patriot Studios Joker. And he's on a different body. Because like I mentioned earlier, the Patriot Studios body broke, so I had to get a replacement. It's a cheaper body, but the clothes still hold up pretty nice. So now let's compare them to the other Leons that I have, like the Limb Toys Resident Evil 2 Leon. So in terms of quality, I think the Limb Toys, the clothes on the Limb Toys feel a lot thicker, and it just feels a lot nicer, but the articulation is horrible, especially in the legs. You don't really get that much range of movement. You definitely get more with this one. And in terms of the head sculpts, I think this was a good representation of the remake. So I think this is a good likeness right here. This one, I'm not totally sure. It doesn't even look like the same. It looks like two different people. If you wanted to, you could switch the necks and the heads. So there's what that looks like. Kind of a interesting look. And this hair is a lot more flatter, less volume than this one. So here's what this looks like. Not too bad, but yeah, just kind of odd. Like, it doesn't really feel right. Now I'll bring in the PW Toys Leon, Resident Evil 6 Leon, which is the best one. And in terms of articulation, this one is still the best. Like, you can get in a natural sitting pose. And the other Leon, not really. Yeah, so I still think this one has much better articulation. You know, there's some damage starting to show on this figure though, which is really unfortunate, because I really do like this figure. Like, you can see right there, there's like some kind of rip or something right there, like the pleather material is flaking off. I think this thing came unglued. I could easily glue that back on though. Besides that, you know, it's still holding up very well. I've had them for a while, I think like 2 or 3 years. But let's see what a head swap looks like. So I actually can't swap the heads. It's not the same size. I don't want to damage the PW Toys. I think doing the head swap the other way might work. Maybe not. Yeah, it's not going to work. It's just two totally different sizes, and it just doesn't fit. Now I'll do some comparisons with the Ada Wong figures that I have. And I only have 2. I wish I had more. I wish they made more. They haven't really made, like, there hasn't really been an Ada Wong figure. There have been kits, but I do have kind of like a custom here. So this is kind of like, it's not really Ada Wong from Resident Evil 4, but it's pretty close. There is a dress on eBay that I'm looking at for 1/12 figures, and I'm probably gonna pick that up. And I kind of wanted to get another TB League body to do another Ada Wong, but I can't find any. I can't find this kit anymore. Where this head came from came with the dress. That dress was really cheap and it fell apart on me. So, yeah, like I said, pretty rare kit. I don't trust most of the sellers on eBay. And so there's the Patriot Studios zombie police officer from Resident Evil, and there's what that looks like. Those figures next to each other. Also have the Patriot Studios Liquor Monster from Resident Evil 2. So there's what that looks like. Patriot Studios is doing pretty well, I think, with these figures. The only main complaint I have is with the way that they construct the knee joints. So, for example, I think the problem is a lot worse on the zombie police officers because their knees are kind of loose. It's very easy to move them, and so when you're trying to stand them, their knees can buckle when you put like downward pressure on the figures. So that's kind of unfortunate, and that kind of happens with this Leon figure. It is a little better, but it still happens. So sometimes it can be kind of annoying trying to stand the figure up. For the most part, it is pretty good though. Much better than these guys. So my final thoughts on this figure are that this figure is a really good figure, you know, from Patriot Studios. It's got that same level of quality that their other figures have, which is nice. Not really any big issues. There's not really any big issues with the figure. There are some minor issues here and there, which you guys heard me explain throughout the video. But besides those things, it is a really good figure. The articulation lets you get some good poses out of it. For 90 bucks, I think it's a decent set of accessories. They could have had a little bit more. I feel like I've paid $90 to $100 for some other figures, and they came with more stuff. But all the things that this figure does come with are good quality. I'm still looking forward to the NW Toys Resident Evil 4 Leon. That just has more of that original classic look. So that seems like the perfect Resident Evil 4 Leon. Well, that's all I got to say about this figure. Let me know what you guys think about this figure in the comments below. Let me know what you think about this review. And if you want to see more pictures of this figure and the other figures in my collection, follow me on Instagram at TryingToKillToys. Also, all the Resident Evil figures that you saw in this video, I have reviews on those figures as well, so check them out on my channel. Anyways, guys, I gotta go. I'll see you in the next one.